What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is here. Match preview, kind of, but it's more about something that's prevalent to what's happened now this week and what could happen in the summer. So, even if you're watching after the Leeds Villa game, don't think that this is too old because it still kind of applies from now until the summer and until the end of the next transfer window, in fact. So, please, people already in the building, nice to see you in here. Smash a like on the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Tote Biller saying Tyler Roberts could be leaving, KG about to pop some bottles. Now, listen, I realized how that sounded in the first title that I give, and it's amazing how one word can change the whole sentence of what you're trying to say. It kind of looked clickbaity before, and I'm not on that. So I put the how at the start of the sentence, and now it looks like how it should. It's crazy how one word just changed that whole thing. So there's no ITK business here. I don't know if he's leaving or not. So if you come in here thinking that I've got his next destination, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm trying to give a scenario that could happen. And I think it would be good for all parties. So there won't be any slander as such on this one. It's not really about that. It's just about trying to see where everybody goes after the news of his injury this week. Um, Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're watching around the world. Ray with the super chat. Thank you for that, Ray. And he's put, in case I miss you, brother, have a fiver. Very generous, Ray. Thank you so much. Scott Lightning, the guy must know what the Leeds fans think of him, so it's best if he leaves. Can't be good for his confidence. Yeah, Blinky Fish, definitely time to move not only Tyler, but a few others in the summer. Unfortunately, not enough quality throughout the team. And yeah, I mean, listen, that's a whole other video we'll be talking about other players that are leaving. But I'm gonna keep it to Tyler Roberts here because of the news that we got. And we got the news that Tyler Roberts, after suffering that injury at Leicester, had to have hamstring surgery and he's out for the rest of the season. That's it. He's done. He's done. He's gone, and we will not see him for the rest of the season. Now, for me, it got my wheels turning straight away. It got my wheels turning straight away in terms of what does that mean for Tyler Roberts now? Does that mean that we're going to see him again in a Leeds United shirt? Are we going to see him again? Now, just saying hello to everyone in here. Chris, if Jesse can get the best from him, then keep him. If not, then he should leave. But who realistically will take him? And this is where we're going to go with this. This is where we're going to go. Bamford is playing tomorrow, yep, and I'll touch on that just at the end with the Villa preview. An afternoon, everybody. But for me, it got the wheels in motion of thought, and I just thought, listen, Tyler, it's been a tough period at Leeds United. It's been a tough period for Tyler at the club. I mean, we're talking about a player that's got over 100 appearances for the club, which is, less said about that, the better. But he's got over 100 appearances, and let's say it hasn't gone very well. In every good, there's bad, and every bad, there's good. And obviously, the injury is not good for him, and I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope he gets back as strong as possible in the summer. I really do. But this could be the chance for Tyler Roberts to leave Leeds United as a warrior, because you know what it's like with fans. They'll probably forget all the times that he wasn't performing, all the things that he wasn't doing, but they'll remember the last 10 minutes against Leicester where he stayed on the pitch. And Jesse Marsch confirmed today that he wanted to stay out there and help the team, side before self. So he will not probably get the better opportunity to leave the club than on the terms that he could be going out on in the summer. It's a perfect storm. So you, instead of, because I'm a visual guy, obviously I create stuff, so I think of stuff, and I just think if he hadn't got injured, we'd be seeing him do what he usually does until the rest of the season. Then if he leaves, you could just imagine all the comments underneath saying, well, thank God he's gone, etc., etc. And you probably would still get some even now, but you can imagine now. You know what Leeds fans are like, very, passionate, beat the chest. He will leave with people remembering the last 10 minutes where if we stay up, they'll say, listen, he stayed up in a year where he's gone in a year where we stayed up and he stayed on for the last 10 minutes, which probably helped us not concede another goal or something like that. He battled on with a damaged hamstring. He could actually go out with a bit of Credit's a strong word, but with a better picture of what people think of him right now, he actually could. So for me, there's no better opportunity for Tyler to leave than this summer. So for me now, this should be the last game we ever see Tyler Roberts play for Leeds United in the nicest possible way. And I look at it from another way too. What other team in the Prem? He doesn't start for any other team in the Prem, and you don't even have to go through them all. Forget the top half; that's not happening. Think of the bottom half: Newcastle, Saint Maximin, Chris Wood, even Dwight Gale. He's not getting in ahead of any of those. Everton, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. He's not getting ahead of those. Even if you want to take the worst team in the league called Norwich, Pookie, Sargent, Adam Idle when he's back healthy. He's not getting in ahead of those. So it's not being mean, it's just being realistic and where you want your club to go. He's not it. And then if you want to even go deeper, the teams that are coming up, Fulham, does he get ahead of Mitrovic? No, he doesn't. Bournemouth and their array of players that they've assembled, including the improving Solanke, he doesn't get ahead of him. So it really is a case of we have to move on. But will we? That's the question. Will we move on in the summer? And for me, it's about this. This would then tell me more about the club. You know, it's already been a disastrous year in terms of recruitment and everything else like that. But if they decide to keep him just because he's recovered from injury, that kind of tells me where we are, our ambitions are. So there's a lot in this. There is a lot to unpack in this. And Jared makes a good point here. Doesn't start for the Welsh ever. He's not even ahead of Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore for Wales, who's a championship striker, he's not ahead of him. I'm sure I've seen Johnny Williams get on the pitch before Tyler Roberts at times. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not being horrible, but it's hard to see where he fits in. And for me, he's not a Premier League player. So this is the best chance, the best opportunity for Tyler to go out with some credit in the bank after going on and staying on with a damaged hamstring. I think he'd get a lot more love than he would if he stays and continues to do the same thing that we've seen for over 100 games. I mean, give me your thoughts. I mean, and people that are watching the replay, please give me your thoughts of what I've said in the comments. Just let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Luke W. Tyler probably goes to a championship team to rebuild value. Yeah, because that's the thing as well. Even if we were relegated, please no. But I just don't see him scoring 10 goals in the championship either. I don't see it. He doesn't have that in his locker. So yeah, it's a weird one. Jared saying I think he'd do well in France. Could be. Stephen LC out in Houston, shout out to you. I like this proposal you've laid out for Tyler Roberts to leave, fair and thought out. Yeah, of course. Listen, he was always going to be on my list to leave anyway, you know, full disclosure. But I'm just thinking now in the circumstances, it's perfect. It's a perfect storm. Jamie saying a championship loan for next season. I just don't see the point in keeping him, Jamie. I'll be honest. I don't think a loan's going to do him any good. I thought the time for a loan was last season. I thought last season was the best time. But yeah, I just don't see it. I think a permanent move would probably do him good too. And yeah, let's just Econ saying absolutely hated the slander he got when he posted about him being out. Although I agree he needs to be replaced. It was hard to read. Hope well for the kid. And that's the other thing. You know, he made an IG post what Econ's alluding to there. And you know, he mentioned that he's thankful for all the support he got, and that people with negative thoughts should, you know, paraphrasing, should support their team better or things like that, do better. But you can only imagine the kind of comments he was getting. I did kind of think of it though on the surface of he's kind of talking like he's a player that's scored 50 goals previously and has been out of form for about 10 games. But I think he's talking about more the abuse of people just cheering that he's injured. For me, I will never cheer somebody being injured. I would just hope that the manager's got the sense to not pick him. I don't cheer anybody getting injured. I think that's a That's a weak way of thinking about stuff and being glad someone's out. You just want your coach to see that this player isn't it and just leave him out the team. So I understood from that point of view that he was you can only imagine the message he was reading and getting, saying, God, thank God this guy isn't going to be playing anymore. But yeah, it's not good. But again, like the tone of the message at times from some of these players that aren't doing very well just reads a little funny sometimes. I'll just say that it just looks like they're in their own little bubble and thinking that they're better than they are. But I understand from the abuse point of view, absolutely. Mickey Leeds is asking what jersey I'm wearing. This is a United States World Cup of Hockey 2016 Jonathan Quick jersey. My favorite goalie in the NHL, Jonathan Quick. So yeah, that's what this is. I haven't just bought this because Jesse Marsch is our manager. Please, let's not start that rumor. But yeah, that's what it is. James Atkins saying Leeds paid 4 million for him in 2018. What's he worth now? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Voice of the Villains, yes, KG, big game tomorrow, but I'm sorry, we need the points 2-0. We'll get into that, Voice of the Villains. We'll get into that. Let's have a look. Oh, some of you, see, this is some of these comments. I can't put them up because it's going against exactly what Steve said about a laid out, thoughtful proposal. Yeah, 140 in there. Please smash a like on the video. It always helps people. Something free, and it helps out the channel. Tom, I love Marc-Andre Fleury. I do, but if you know Jonathan Quick, you know how he makes saves. He's kind of like the Aaron Ramsdale of NHL, and he does saves that he doesn't really need to, but they look spectacular. So, yeah. And listen, Steve makes a good point. I like to see any couch commanders even attempt to jog on with a torn hamstring. At least he tried to see the game through. Exactly, Steve. Like it. I mean, it was stupid because he probably aggravated the injury. He really might have done that, but you got to commend him for at least trying and wanting to stay on and help. But that's the way he should go out. I've already seen comments where people have given him nothing but praise for that. It's a beautiful moment to go out on. But yeah, I mean, and that's it for that. I mean, I'm not going to be on here long. I'm going to go through the Leeds Villa now and just give my thoughts on that. Alexander saying, "Hey KG, hope you're well, brother. Keep up the great content. Big week, but we all in this together." I like how Jesse mentions community when talking about Leeds. Yes, and Brian C, you are big in Florida, KG. You need a Lightning jersey. Well, you know what, Brian? I actually prefer the Panthers out of the two. Sasha Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau. Listen, Anthony DeClaire, big on that. Even got a soft spot for Bobrovsky, but hey, that's another thing. That's another thing. But yeah, listen, it's a huge couple of games this week. It really is. And Villa tomorrow. I mean, I've got a prediction for the game, but I think even I'll admit to myself, I think it's more with my heart than my head. I do think Villa have got the ability to win quite easily, but I just think of it as well from our side where we need to not lose. We can't start off with Jesse with the 2 losses, and then it puts a whole heap of pressure on these players for the Norwich game on Sunday. And I just don't think that these players have got the mentality to feel that kind of pressure, because if we lose tomorrow, the game against Norwich, even though it's at home, the crowd are going to be tense. It's going to be a tense atmosphere. And if you've ever been to Ellen Road when it's a tense atmosphere, it translates to the pitch big time. Big time. It's horrible. So we need to not lose tomorrow. And I think we're capable of doing it. I think we can get something from the game. But it's imperative that we don't lose. It really is. And Jesse was talking today. I like some of his comments today. I do. Bamford will be back. As someone mentioned earlier, Bamford will be back. He'll be coming in off the bench. And about the match huddle, I mean, Connor asked me about it on the debrief, and I felt the exact same way Jesse Marsch did today, in terms of who cares? Like, who cares about a huddle? No one cares. Like it's nothing new either in sports. It's not new. Yes, in football, it's probably seen more when you've won a game. But Steven Gerrard did it one game before he slipped over. It happens in football. So it's just a big deal made of nothing. And that's the problem with, I don't want to say media, but they're so vanilla and boring that anything that's different and it just this just being an American accent, it blows their mind. They're like, oh wow, American accent. They need to calm it down because it's almost becoming like the Bielsa bucket where people just kept mentioning it. It's like, move on to something different, man. The guy's American, he's a coach. Let's just move on. So I understood what he was talking about there. Forshaw, Llorente, both available. Da, 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 da. And he says that he's got a reputation for rotation. It helps keep the players hungry. Tactically admitted there is a plan to keep tight on Coutinho tomorrow. Now, Coutinho is the key. Let's not scoot around it. And he's got a plan to keep it tight on Coutinho. Now, I'm hoping that he's talking about putting a couple of players on him because right now I wouldn't man mark Coutinho tomorrow because we don't have Calvin Phillips. If Calvin Phillips was fit, I would say, yeah, keep Calvin Phillips on Coutinho because that's what a player of Calvin Phillips level can do. But we don't have those players right now. So what I'm hoping that they do is that they hunt in packs on Coutinho and not give him any room to even thread a pass through. If we can do that, we give ourselves a much better chance of getting something out of the game. And I think that's probably what he'll do. I think he will target Coutinho and hunt impacts on him. It will not be it will not be a man marking system. That will be, for a better term, it will be self destructive. Let's just put it that way. So I mean, James, yeah. Hold on. Jamie Kerr saying can't keep cut tight to Coutinho. You will turn him over. Coutinho will spin any of the players that you want to put one on one against him, whether it be Robin Koch, whether it be Adam Forshaw, Matthias Klick. But it's important that we get a lot of bodies around him, and I think he will do that. As Jesse said, he's a game changer. Jack Harrison, I love this comment on Jack Harrison that he had today as well. I'm going to try not to say the swear word, don't want to get in trouble, but it was said that Jesse Marsch admires Harrison's genial character, but adds it's okay to be a nice young man, but also a son of a biznitch on the pitch. I just want to give him the confidence of the ideas of our football and achieve. Be more decisive and clear what the last actions can be. Love it. Love it, because that's something that can be leveled at Jack. He's a nice guy. He's very soft, but he's saying that he wants him to be an absolute. Yeah. Jose Mourinho said it best in the Spurs documentary. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Mickey, what is it with you and Click Safrabona? Leave it out. Christopher, you doing a watch along, KG? I was thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'll definitely do a post match reaction. That will be a definite. I'll be here after the game and we'll talk through it. But I am considering it tomorrow. I am considering it. Just let me see how tomorrow looks. Jim Atkins, one of the few criticisms I had about Bielsa was being too nice. It's a problem throughout the team, Jim, and it's something that I've covered many times on here, just about the team just not appealing for stuff around the ref, accepting things and not speaking up and things like that. It's all well and good, very noble, but you're losing the edge out of the game. So yeah, I mean, Jesse seems like he's not about that, which is good. We already saw him talking a lot to the fourth official against Leicester. And that's something else as well. I need to say as well, I want to see how he sets up, because he played Dallas at right back, and we saw Harvey Barnes absolutely take Dallas to the cleaners. It was embarrassing. We saw a few other players playing out of position. I hope that he seen up close that some of these players just don't work. Maybe you needed to see that in the flesh from the sidelines. I'm really interested to see what he does tomorrow with the team. Someone asked him my predicted 11. I won't give you that because I don't know, because it sounds like he might rotate a few players tomorrow. So that will be interesting to see. But hopefully he's learned a few things from that Leicester game. And hopefully we're bringing on Bamford when the game is tight and we can go through and nick something or hold on to something. That would be better, wouldn't it? I mean, I've already said about this week, to lose both of these games would be a disaster. It would be an absolute disaster. So I'm hoping for a draw tomorrow. I've predicted. People, get your predictions in now. That if you're in the chat, get your score predictions in for tomorrow's game. I'm saying 1-1. I'm saying a 1-1 draw, and then we move on to Norwich and beat them, take 4 points from the week. That would be a good week. 4 points from this week would be good. 6 points would be great. But teams below us are doing us a favor. Like, we're bad, but teams below us they're still tripping up. Everton on Monday got absolutely panned. Like, they had no chance against Tottenham. We need to do our job though and get some points on the board. 5 losses in a row. We got to stop the bleeding. But I would take a draw tomorrow. I really would. Jeremy saying, I'm happy with a draw myself. Jamie Kerr, 1-0 Leeds. Jim Atkins, 2-2 against Villa, 3-0 against Norwich. 2-1 Leeds for Wayne. 2-2 draw. Mickey, clicks Rabona. Yeah, sorry, had me dying for real though, KG. Love hearing your opinion on Leeds. You're the GOAT. Thank you, Mickey. Matthew Smith, still in a great position. I genuinely think 3 wins will be enough. Yeah, we are. We are in a good position because everyone else below us keeps tripping up, but we do need to get some points on the board. It's important. And just for morale, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but just for morale for fans, it would be nice just to not see another L in the column. Just be good to see something else besides that red L. So Loki saying a Desmond Tutu, fair enough. Harmony, I've just missed it. Hold on. Harmony saying another humdinger, M to N 3-2 Leeds. Hey, I'll take that. Yorkshire PLO, do you think Harrison could be perfect in this system? Marsch race him highly. Yeah, I mean, it's up to Jack though, isn't it? Because Jack, it hasn't been a good season, let's be honest. But he needs to come with the aggression. I think that's what Jesse's talking about. He needs to be more aggressive when he's playing and not just get his head down once he's not won a one-on-one. He needs to be more decisive in the final third. That is something that he definitely needs to do. But you can see there's a player that I still see a player in Jack Harrison. I do, but he needs to show it more consistently. I think that's fair. Ollie Matthews, 2-1 Leeds, click Daisy Cutter to take the points. How ironic would that be, Ollie? How ironic would that be? Jeremy saying, if Paddy does come on and score, please don't celebrate. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Matthew saying, think we will see Somerville either tomorrow or on Sunday against Norwich. Seeing as Marsch likes to rotate. We might do. We might do. We don't know. This is it. It's all new, isn't it? And that's why I'm going into this game feeling excited. I'm excited for the game tomorrow because I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm thinking Villa may have too much, but who knows what we're going to do tomorrow with the players that we put out, with the home crowd behind us. Let's see how we adapt tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the game. It's not something that I could say a lot recently, but I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. Christopher saying Rafinha needs to have a good game. He's not been too good recently. Thoughts? Yeah, he hasn't been his absolute best, but I thought he was okay against Leicester. And if he does score that one where Schmeichel saves at point blank range, I don't think anyone's talking about him. But because Rafinha is a numbers guy in terms of he gets us assists, he gets us goals, it's looking a little quiet right now. And I accept that. But there are other factors around that why he's quiet. And I'm sure that will all come out in the summer. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, but I can't see him staying. So I think it will probably come out in the summer why his form dipped. I think it's pretty obvious why. But yeah, I would love to see him put on a little masterclass tomorrow. That would be lovely. Matthew saying also, I wouldn't risk Bamford if we're on top tomorrow. If it's a draw, I wouldn't risk him. If it's a draw, I wouldn't risk it. I would, Matthew, if he's ready. But that's the only condition. He's got to be ready. If he's not ready to play, then yeah, I'm with you. Just leave it. But if we're drawing at home and are pushing for a winner, I absolutely would put Bamford on the pitch. So, yeah. Jamie Kerr, I want to see James back in the wide areas once Bamford is fully back. Me too, man. Absolutely, me too. Philip saying Rafinha has been poor the last few games, but that applies to all of our players. It does. Yeah, that's what I mean, Philip. It's kind of hard just to single out certain players because I mentioned Ailing, I mentioned Click, as everyone knows, but my favorite defender that we've got, Strauch. He hasn't been good either. Over the last month, he has not been good. His confidence is very low. Llorente's passing hasn't been on it either lately. There's a lot. Melier, he looked more comfortable in the game against Leicester, but he hasn't been good lately. It's a collective thing. So it's about them all getting together now and making these next two games count. They have to count. Um, so yeah, I mean, and that's it, people. That's all I wanted to say on that today. It was mostly about the Tyler Roberts thing at the start, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Like I say, give me your thoughts on things I've said. If you watched the replay, put them in the comments. Also, put in the comments your score predictions for tomorrow's game. I'll let you know tomorrow what I'm going to be doing. If anything, it will definitely be a match reaction, but I might do a watch long. We'll see. Don't hold me to it, though, people. Don't say I promised you anything because I didn't. Okay. But yeah, listen, people, I'm going to leave it there and I'll see you all tomorrow after the Leeds Villa game. Peace out.